Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra. Market Mantra.
Welcome to this edition of Market Mantra, in which we give you a complete update on the economic, business and stock market news of the day. I'm Paul Thotham, and with me is my co-anchor in Hindi, Manoj Pathak.
नमस्कार, मार्केट मंत्र के ताजा अंक में आपका स्वागत है। आधे घंटे के इस कार्यक्रम में हमेशा की तरह हम देश और दुनिया की चुनी हुई कारोबारी, आर्थिक और शेयर बाजार से जुड़ी ताजा खबरों को लेकर हाजिर हैं। हमारे साथ खबरों पर चर्चा के लिए आज स्टूडियो में आमंत्रित हैं वरिष्ठ आर्थिक पत्रकार सुषमा रामचंद्रन। सुषमा जी, कार्यक्रम में आपका स्वागत है।
थैंक यू मनोज।
आइए शुरुआत करते हैं अंग्रेजी में हेडलाइन से, जिसे लेकर मौजूद हैं पॉल थॉटम।
International Monetary Fund predicts a growth rate of 7.3% for India in the current fiscal and 7.4% in the next year. Domestic stocks fall around 0.5%. Sensex loses 175 points to 34,299 and rupee depreciates to a new low of 74 rupees and 39 paise against the US dollar.
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्रा कोष ने चालू वित्त वर्ष में भारत की आर्थिक वृद्धि दर 7.3% और इसके अगले वर्ष 7.4% रहने का अनुमान व्यक्त किया। घरेलू शेयर बाजार आज लगभग आधी फीसदी नुकसान के साथ हुए बंद। सेंसेक्स 175 अंक लुढ़ककर 34,299 पर आया और रुपए में $1 की तुलना में हुई और गिरावट 74 रुपए 39 पैसे के नए न्यूनतम स्तर पर हुआ बंद।
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, today predicted a growth rate of 7.3% for India in the current year and 7.4% in 2019. In 2017, India had recorded a 6.7% growth rate. The latest World Economic Outlook report has predicted slightly lower growth rate than it made projections in April 2018 in its World Economic Outlook for 2019. It said the prediction is lower due to recent increase in oil prices and the tightening of global financial conditions. The report said in India, important reforms have been implemented in the recent years, including the Goods and Services Tax, the Inflation Targeting Framework, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, and steps to liberalize foreign investment and make it easier to do business. India's medium-term growth prospects remain strong at 7.75%, benefiting from ongoing structural reforms. If the projections are true, then India will regain the tag of the fastest-growing major economies of the world, crossing China with more than 0.7 percentage points in 2018 and an impressive 1.2 percentage points growth lead in 2019. Sushma, a very positive story to begin this session. Please, can you just elaborate a little when the IMF makes these kind of projections as opposed to what is geopolitically happening and how India is responding to it?
Well, it's of course a great positive that the IMF has made this projection because it indicates, as you yourself have said, that India is likely to continue being the fastest growing economy in the world because China is slowing down slightly. Of course, if China was growing at the growth rate at which it was for the previous few decades, we would still be behind because it has been growing at the rate of 8 or 9%, 10% also. So, but even so, it is very commendable that they are pegging this growth rate. This is despite the fact that global conditions are certainly not very favorable for India just now. First of all is the fact that crude oil prices are rising very fast, and this is a factor that we cannot discount because India imports about 80%, over 80% of its crude oil requirements. And secondly, of course, global financial conditions, as they were saying, as has been mentioned, are tightening. Interest rates are rising in the U.S. We are seeing a flow of funds from the emerging economies, including India, back to the United States. At the same time, there remains a certain amount of confidence in India as a area of growth, and therefore you have a lot of portfolio investments still remaining in this country. The third issue, of course, on the global front are the trade wars between the US and China, but the fallout, of course, is going to occur on the rest of the world. If this continues, you're going to have inflation is definitely going to go up. It is not only going to go up in the US, it is going to go up in this country as well. And the protectionist tendencies are not conducive to faster economic growth. So these are the global conditions. At the same time, as the IMF has said, that India has taken a series of major economic reforms. And these, of course, in this country, we are aware with GST, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, and as well as the steps to liberalize foreign investment, as you have pointed out. These are major steps. GST, of course, the economy has been adjusting to it. I think one of the factors was that there was too much of complexity. Even now, there are too many layers of taxation in GST. There's an internal GST, there's an interstate GST, there's a central GST. So all these factors are there. Till these there can be more simplification. I think that we are still going to go through a lot of some kind of pain. The plus point, of course, is that at every meeting, the GST Council seems to be doing more and more simplification, and that's going to make it easier for industry, and that's going to lead to higher revenue inflow.
Sushma, it brings me to another point, a very layman's question for a retail investor, for a layman, that let us presume a situation where there were no trade wars and China was doing what China is doing and US is working hard and they've done very well from the job market. Their yields have gone up and everything is looking very beautiful there. In that situation, do you think India would be pegged where it is pegged right now? Would under those circumstances, India of today, would it be doing really well as opposed to,
Yes, I understand your question. Yeah. No, I think the success of the higher economic growth in one country does not mean that economic growth in another country will actually slow down. Higher economic growth in China will mean that there's probably going to be more demand and services for goods, and those goods will also come from India because we also have a very flourishing trade with China. So if China is growing fast, they're going to buy more from us, and they're going to be probably investing more in India, which they are already, and that can only be a plus point for India. So I would say that if China is doing well, India would probably do even better than what it is now.
सुषमा जी, हम समझना ये चाहेंगे कि जो वर्तमान हालात हैं, निश्चित रूप से चुनौतियां बढ़ गई हैं तेल के दाम बढ़ने से, उसके बावजूद किन किन क्षेत्रों में आपको ऐसा लग रहा है जहां हम बेहतर और प्रदर्शन कर सकते हैं, जहां जिसे ग्रीन शूट्स कहा करते हैं कि किरण विकास की किरणें दिखाई दे रही हैं, किन क्षेत्रों में हम तेज गति से अपेक्षाकृत आगे बढ़ सकते हैं?
देखिए, इस वक्त जो अभी डेटा हमें दिखाई दे रहा है, एक तो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग क्षेत्र जो है वो अच्छा चल रहा है. पिछले जो इंडेक्स ऑफ इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोडक्शन में ये दिखाई दे रहा था कि आपका मैन्युफैक्चरिंग क्षेत्र अच्छा कर रहा है. ये बहुत बड़ी चीज है क्योंकि मैन्युफैक्चरिंग क्षेत्र है, उसमें उम्मीद है कि बहुत ज्यादा हमें जॉब्स की पोटेंशियल है. तो जितनी ज्यादा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स बढ़ेंगी, जितनी ज्यादा इनकी ग्रीनफील्ड यूनिट्स आएंगी, उतनी ज्यादा जॉब्स की पोटेंशियल होगी हमारे देश में, और जॉब्स की सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत है. बाकी अगर देखें, ग्रीन शूट्स आ रही हैं कुछ सिलेक्टेड क्षेत्र में. अगर आप देखें, ऑटोमोबाइल्स में है, ऑटोमोबाइल क्षेत्र अभी बढ़ रहा है काफी, टू व्हीलर क्षेत्र बढ़ रहा है, कृषि क्षेत्र बढ़ रहा है इस वक्त. हालांकि इस साल शायद खरीफ की फसल इतनी अच्छी ना हो, लेकिन लगता है कि अभी भी देखिए अपवर्ड ट्रेंड हमारा एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में चल रहा है. कुछ हमारी खामियां हैं उसमें, जैसे कि कुछ चीजें, कुछ जैसे दालें हैं, ऑयल सीड्स हैं, उनमें जो वीकनेसेस हैं उसको कम करने के लिए सरकार ने अभी मिनिमम सपोर्ट प्राइस बढ़ाई है, काफी बढ़ाई है, और उम्मीद ये है कि यहाँ पर ये इसकी जो पैदावार ज्यादा हो जाएगी।
अभी जो कह लें कि त्योहारों का मौसम शुरू हो रहा है, तो त्योहारों के मौसम में आमतौर पर हम देखते हैं कि अर्थव्यवस्था के हर क्षेत्र में जो पहिया होता है वो तेज गति से चल पड़ता है। आपको कैसे आसार लग रहे हैं वर्तमान परिदृश्य को देखते हुए, खासतौर से रुपया जिस रूप से कमजोर हो रहा है उसके बावजूद किस रूप में बाजार तेज चल पाएगा? बाजार मतलब उपभोक्ता कितना खरीद पाएंगे?
बिल्कुल, ये आप डिमांड की बात कर रहे हैं और मेरे ख्याल में डिमांड इस साल शायद इतना अच्छा नहीं होगा जितना हमें उम्मीद थी, क्योंकि जो जैसे मैं कह रही थी कि इस साल शायद खरीफ की फसल इतनी अच्छी ना हो, क्योंकि जो बारिश हुई है इस मानसून में वो अंत में बहुत अच्छी नहीं हुई। तो कई क्षेत्रों में बारिश इतनी अच्छी नहीं हुई है, लेकिन ओवरऑल जो पैदावार है वो काफी मेरे ख्याल बढ़ेगी जरूर, लेकिन बहुत ज्यादा जितनी हमारी उम्मीद थी उतनी नहीं होगी। और ये इंजन ऑफ ग्रोथ हमारा अल्टीमेटली कृषि क्षेत्र है, और जब तक इसका अगर बहुत बाउंटीफुल हो तो डिमांड बढ़ जाती है ज्यादा। तो इस साल इतना ज्यादा नहीं होगा। हाँ, होगा जरूर, जैसे आपने कहा कि डिमांड फेस्टिवल्स टाइम में जरूर बढ़ती है, वो जरूर बढ़ेगी। और लेकिन अभी की जो हालात हैं इस वक्त थोड़े से मुश्किल में है इस देश, ये देश में मुश्किलें हम दिखाई दे रहे हैं, वो तो हमें मालूम है। तेल के दाम बढ़ रहे हैं, रूपी थोड़ा नीचे आ रहा है, लेकिन जो डोमेस्टिक फंडामेंटल्स हैं वो अभी भी अच्छे हैं।
सुषमा जी, यहाँ पर रुपया गिरने की बात हो रही है। यहाँ मैं ये समझना चाहूंगा कि अमेरिका में जैसे कह लें वहाँ की अर्थव्यवस्था मजबूत हो रही है, यूरोप भी कुल मिला के बेहतर दिशा में जा रहा है, तो जो हमारा सेवा क्षेत्र है और खासतौर से जो आईटी सेक्टर है वहाँ की क्या स्थितियां बनती हैं हमारे लिए?
अब आईटी सेक्टर अभी भी अच्छा चल रहा है। अभी इसकी जो सर्विसेज सेक्टर जो है इसकी एक्सपोर्ट्स बहुत अच्छी चल रही है। हमारी कुछ मुश्किलात हैं अमेरिका में, हम सबको मालूम है, वीजा के मामले में, लेकिन फिर भी एक्सपोर्ट्स जो है वो बहुत अच्छी चल रही हैं। बहुत बड़े बड़े कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स मिल रहे हैं, टीसीएस को भी मिल रहा है। सबसे बड़ी हमारी सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी टीसीएस है, लोग भूल जाते हैं, लोग समझते हैं इन्फोसिस है, तो टीसीएस को बहुत बड़े बड़े कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मिले हैं। इन्फोसिस, विप्रो, कॉग्नाइजेंट शायद इंडियन नहीं है लेकिन इंडियन समझ लीजिए। तो ये सारी जो कंपनीज हैं ये बहुत उनकी जो परफॉर्मेंस है वो काफी अच्छी है, और ये मार्केट भी देख रहा है कि क्योंकि ये अब ये बेलवेदर स्टॉक्स बन गई हैं, और मार्केट भी देख रहा है कि इनकी जो क्वार्टरली परफॉर्मेंस है ये अच्छी है और एक्सपोर्ट्स भी अच्छी हैं। तो ये जो क्षेत्र है जो बहुत जरूरी है हमारे देश के लिए एक्सपोर्ट्स के मामले में, करंट अकाउंट डिफिसिट के लिए, ये बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है इस वक्त।
The next story is a very beautiful opinion that the IMF has on gender diversity. IMF study says gender diversity is likely to boost productivity growth, including in countries like India. The research paper said that gender diversity is likely to be beneficial to productivity growth, including countries like India, because women bring new skills to the workplace. It said reducing female underemployment should yield greater gains than an equivalent increase in male employment. In the paper, IMF said the progress has been made in increasing female labor force participation in the past 2 decades. Sushma, a beautiful story and a very beautiful observation, I must say. Yes. It is bringing back the complete productivity scale where it was totally mismatched for a long time, and I think it's due, and they have beautifully recognized this. This is but my opinion. But what is your opinion? How does it economically help a country? When
certainly, it's good to know that this IMF study says that women bring new skills to the workplace, because they certainly do. I think one of the problems in India is studies have shown that female labor force participation has actually declined. And that is something, it's a worrying factor in this country. But I think what needs to be done, some of the studies have shown that a lot of women leave the labor force after they get married and they have children. And this cuts across class, and this cuts across affluence and poverty, all segments of economic situation for women. And here, this is where employers need to, whether it is in the unorganized or in the organized sector, employers as well as the government need to take a serious note of this issue, and they need to take steps to ensure that women can participate in the workplace after they have a family and after they have children. One step has already been taken in the sense of increasing the amount of number of months of maternity leave that the government has taken. The second thing that needs to be taken is to have effective creches probably at the workplace. This again is being done probably by large organizations. In the organized sector you may have this, but unorganized sector it's a big problem. In rural areas it is a big problem because women are, have to just stay at home and take care of the children simply because there is no one else to do it. So, of course, they do go out. You see some form of labor force participation is not recorded. They go out into the fields, they do work, and that is also, a part of their domestic chores, you can say. So there has to be some institutionalization. The state governments have to be involved. The central government has to be involved in providing some facilities to women so that they can use their special skills, which IMF study has pointed out, because women have special skills. They bring about greater productivity in the workplace, and this ability to bring women back into the workplace, that facilities need to be provided.
आइए आगे बढ़ें, चलें शेयर बाजार की ओर। अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बाजारों में मिले जुले रुख और रुपए में गिरावट के बीच घरेलू शेयर बाजार आज लगभग आधी फीसदी नुकसान के साथ बंद हुए। बॉम्बे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का सेंसेक्स 175 अंक यानी 0.51% घटकर 34,299 पर बंद हुआ। उधर नेशनल स्टॉक एक्सचेंज का निफ्टी 47 अंक यानी 0.45% की कमी के साथ 10,301 दर्ज हुआ। छोटी और मझोली कंपनियों के शेयरों की बिकवाली भी तेज रही। बीएसई मिड कैप इंडेक्स 0.16% और स्मॉल कैप इंडेक्स 0.45% घाटे में रहा।
Domestic stocks today closed with losses of around 0.5% amid falling rupee and mixed global share markets. Falling rupee and boiling crude oil prices also put pressure on bosses. Trading was volatile throughout the session as indices swung between gains and losses in the intraday. Sensex at the Bombay Stock Exchange fell 175 points or 0.51% to 34,299. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange also slipped 47 points or 0.45% to 10,301. Among secondary barometers, the BSE Mid-Cap Index fell 0.16%. The BSE Small Cap Index fell 0.45%. The market breadth indicating the overall health of the market was negative. On BSE, 1,024 shares rose and 1,591 shares fell. A total of 151 shares were unchanged. Among the sectoral indices on BSE, consumer durables down 3.91%, auto down 2.62%, oil and gas down 1.92%, FMCG down 1.68%. Consumer discretionary goods and services was also down 1.47%, and energy down with 1.43% were among indices which underperformed the Sensex. While tech was up 0.23%, finance up to 0.30%, healthcare up 1%, and metal index up 1.01% were among the indices which outperformed the Sensex. We've seen a falling stock market, we're seeing a falling rupee, we're seeing a running crude up north, and IMF has very positive outcomes for India too. But I'm sure overall the market is going negative, the sentiment looks negative. What do you feel? What kind of correction will happen, or do we see a few more days of this?
Well, of course, this whole this bearish trend has been continuing throughout September, and the market has lost a lot of the gains which it had made over the past 1 year. It's been complete bull run, a very excitable bull run the whole of this year. And market course correction was definitely needed, and it has taken place. I would say that this course correction will continue for a while. Because as you yourself have pointed out, we still have the problems of the falling rupee and the higher oil prices, and that is a pain that may not go away so quickly in the coming weeks. At the same time, as you have pointed out, the IMF is still, and even the government and even RBI are projecting over 7% growth, 7.3, 7.4% growth for the economy, which is because the fundamentals of this, the internal domestic fundamentals are good. Index of industrial production has, the last data that we heard was good. Infrastructure sector was growing at a steady pace. Agriculture sector is a little slow, but still upward trend is continuing, better than last year. And so all these factors taken into, and we just talked about certain sectors. I talked about IT sector. In fact, IT sector was going through a lot of pain a year or so ago. It has now sort of regrouped, and that's a very important sector of the economy. So that has regrouped, and they're doing retraining as far as artificial intelligence and things is concerned. So as far as, and then you have quarterly results coming, which are fairly positive. So the domestic fundamentals are looking good. External factors are not so good of the economy. So I think for the time being, we will have to deal with this pain. The correction will continue, and I don't think there is going to be any serious harm done to the market if it stabilizes a little for the next month or so.
सुषमा जी, आपने बड़ी अच्छी तरह विश्लेषित किया कि बाजार में जो बुलरन हम देख रहे थे, तेजड़ियों का लगातार दबदबा देख रहे थे, वो उस पर थोड़ा सा लगाम लगा है। बाजार की कुल माली हालत के लिए, उसके स्वास्थ्य के लिए क्या इसे आप उचित मानती हैं कि जो ठहराव आया है या जो गिरावट का हम ताजा दौर देख रहे हैं, वो एक सही दिशा है शेयर बाजार की?
मेरे ख्याल में है, सही दिशा है, क्योंकि काफी सारे शेयर्स जो हैं वो ओवर प्राइस्ड हो गए थे, और ये इसी वजह जो है कि फॉरेन इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर्स भी थोड़े से हट गए थे, क्योंकि ये जो बबल की तरह बनने वाला था। और मेरे ख्याल में अच्छा है कि ये थोड़ा सा कॉस्ट करेक्शन हुआ है। कई शेयर्स हैं जो, जैसे मैंने कहा, ओवर प्राइस थे। कई शेयर्स खैर वो नीचे आए हैं कई वजह से। कुछ में वॉलेटिलिटी है बैंकिंग क्षेत्र में, क्योंकि काफी रिपोर्ट्स आई हैं कई बैंक्स के बारे में, लेकिन ओवरऑल ट्रेंड जो है मेरे ख्याल ये
स्वस्थ दिशा में
चल रहा है।
Sushma, correct me if I'm wrong, Q1 results were good. So do you think that the Sensex fall or correction, whichever way we'd like to put it, is it primarily because of external factors, but domestic factors being really good and strong and robust, we are holding on? Is that correct if I put it that way?
You know, once I was listening to this show, and there was a guest, there was an expert on this show, and she said actually the correct thing. She said, you know, we never really know why the Sensex goes up and down. I remember listening to that comment, and she's a very seasoned commentator. And the fact is that the Indian stock market tends to move a lot on sentiment.
Right.
And for instance, near the elections, it will move in a very volatile fashion, and it has nothing to do with the fundamentals of the economy. And so there is a lot of sentiment involved, and to say whether it moves largely on external or largely on domestic is difficult to say. At a particular period of time, I think when the headlines are, you know, about external factors, then it's bound to go by that sentiment, whatever happens abroad. And when there's a political situation perhaps, or maybe an economic crisis within the country, then it would be guided more by domestic scenario.
यानी हम उम्मीद करें कि जो घरेलू हालात हैं, बृहत आर्थिक ढांचा है, वो बेहतर दिशा में है, अनुकूल है हमारी अर्थव्यवस्था के। ऐसे में जो बाहरी कारक हैं वही मुख्य रूप से प्रभावित कर रहे हैं बाजार को। आइए हम चलते हैं वैश्विक बाजारों की ओर, उसके बाद फिर से समग्र चर्चा करेंगे शेयर बाजार पर। सबसे पहले ध्यान दें एशियाई शेयर बाजार पर, जहां कुल मिलाकर बिकवाली तेज रही है चीन को छोड़कर। चीन द्वारा अपनी मुद्रा को अवमूल्यन के लिए छोड़ देने का एशियाई शेयर बाजारों पर आज प्रतिकूल असर देखने को मिला है, और चीन को छोड़कर अन्य बाजार 17 महीने के न्यूनतम स्तर पर आ गए। चीन का शंघाई कंपोजिट इंडेक्स कल 4% लुढ़क गया था। मुद्रा अवमूल्यन के बाद आज इसमें 0.17% की तेजी आई। उधर बिकवाली के दबाव में जापान का निक्केई सूचकांक 1.34% लुढ़क गया। हांगकांग का हिंगसेंग 0.61% घाटे में रहा। सिंगापुर का स्ट्रेट्स टाइम्स इंडेक्स 0.4% नुकसान के साथ बंद हुआ। उधर दक्षिण कोरिया में कारोबार बंद रहा। यूरोपीय बाजारों की ओर चलें तो समाचार लिखे जाने तक कमजोरी बनी हुई थी। अंतर दिवसीय कारोबार में लंदन का FTSE 100 0.46%, फ्रांस का CAC 40 0.33% और जर्मनी का DAX 0.51% नीचे कारोबार कर रहा था।
U.S. stocks closed mixed yesterday as concerns mounted about the impact on China's economy from trade tensions between the United States and China. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 0.15%, while the Nasdaq Composite declined 0.67%. S&P 500 remained almost flat. Sushma, trade wars, oil prices, sanctions on Iran. What is it all doing to the Asian markets so bad? U.S. is the only one who's holding out on a positive note. Is the effect going to worsen in the Asian markets?
Well, I think certainly it is bound to, because the Asian markets are going to be impacted by two major factors. One is oil prices, and China, like India, China is the largest, I think, buyer of crude oil in the world, and we are, in fact, one of the thesis being put out is that China and India should unite actually in purchases of oil, and then we'll be able to get better prices for both the countries. So higher oil prices affect Asia, especially China. So that is bound to affect shares there. Second thing, of course, is the trade wars, which is not only going to affect China, it's going to affect neighboring countries as well. So the trade wars means the protective tariffs that have been imposed by the U.S. administration, as well as the protective tariffs now being imposed by China on U.S. goods, they're going to have an impact on the way people are going to buy products in China as well as in Southeast Asia, and similarly in the U.S. The U.S. itself, consumers have started complaining about higher inflation, a country where, the inflation has always historically been low. Inflation is suddenly rising because of the huge impact of Chinese goods becoming expensive. Similarly in China. So, as I said, the fallout, of course, is also there in India because we are exporting some steel and aluminum to the U.S. on which tariffs have been raised. We are thinking of imposing punitive tariffs, but this issue has been kept on hold pending negotiations with the U.S. Hopefully, they should be resolved because, just as I said, protectionist trade barriers can never be productive, can never contribute to higher economic growth.
आइए नजर डालें रुपए पर, उसके बाद बहुत संक्षिप्त हम चर्चा कर लेंगे जो मुद्रा वार की दिशा में, मुद्रा युद्ध की दिशा में दुनिया जाती हुई दिख रही है उस पर, और उसके बाद अगली चर्चा करेंगे। अंतर बैंकिंग विदेशी मुद्रा बाजार में $1 की तुलना में रुपया आज 33 पैसे कमजोर हुआ है, 74 रुपए 39 पैसे के स्तर पर आ गया। पिछले सत्र में ये 30 पैसे कमजोर हुआ था, 74 रुपए 6 पैसे के स्तर पर था। तेल की भी हम चर्चा कर लेते हैं, फिर चर्चा आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
Oil prices today rose as more evidence emerged that crude exports from Iran, OPEC's third largest producer, are declining in the run-up to the reimposition of U.S. sanctions and as a hurricane moved across the Gulf of Mexico. Brent crude prices in intraday trade today were trading around $84.52 per barrel, while WTI prices were at around $74.75 when reports last came in.
सोने पर भी चर्चा कर ही लेते हैं। दिल्ली सराफा बाजार में आज सोने और चांदी की चमक फीकी रही। सोने का मूल्य 220 रुपए घटकर 31,650 रुपए प्रति 10 ग्राम पर आ गया। चांदी 50 रुपए घटकर 39,250 रुपए प्रति किलो रह गई। सुषमा जी, मुद्रा पर हम चर्चा करना चाहेंगे और समझना चाहेंगे, केवल डॉलर मजबूत हो रहा, चीन ने आज अपनी मुद्रा को अवमूल्यन के लिए छोड़ दिया है, रुपया भी और अन्य विकासशील देशों की मुद्राएं भी घट रही हैं। क्या मुख्य कारण है, किस दिशा में ये जाता दिख रहा?
देखिए, डॉलर जैसे आपने कहा कि वो स्ट्रेंथन हो रहा है, तो उसके मुकाबले में जो बाकी करेंसीज हैं वो वीक होती जा रही है। इनफैक्ट ये कहा जा रहा है कि रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के चीफ ने कहा कि रुपया इतना नहीं गिरा जितना आप समझते हैं। आप दूसरे देशों को देखिए, उनकी करेंसीज बहुत ज्यादा गिरी हैं, तो उस हिसाब से इतना ज्यादा नहीं गिरा।
यानी हमारे लिए सामान्य सी बात है, बहुत चिंता की बात नहीं है। बस यहीं पर श्रोताओं की ओर से सुषमा जी हम आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहेंगे।
थैंक यू मनोज।
Thank you, Sushma. Before we close, a reminder of the headlines. International Monetary Fund predicts a growth rate of 7.3% for India in current fiscal and 7.4% in next year. Domestic stocks fall around 0.5%. Sensex loses 175 points to 34,299. And rupee depreciates to a new low of 74 rupees and 39 paise against the US dollar. And that's it in this edition of Market Mantra. For now, goodbye.
Market Mantra.